Nicola, first of all, tell me about your new album, because it's got, I mean, as the title suggests, it's got a Scottish flavour to it, hasn't it?
Yes, it definitely does. Well, the whole concept is really inspired by the first piece on the recording, which is a normal classical concerto, but the concerto is based on and inspired by 4 Scottish tunes, and it sort of goes like slow fast. So you have a beautiful air and then a real kind of almost like a battle song, and it's an absolutely stunning concerto. It's one of my favourite pieces of music to play, and it's always a question for me after deciding the core work for a recording, what to then surround that with. And obviously a piece of music that is written by a German composer, but then is inspired by Scottish folk music. It can lend itself to so many different directions, and I thought being Scottish and the fiddle being so important in Scotland, but being a classical musician, like this is a perfect opportunity to really go in that direction, something I've wanted to do for a long time. So there's quite a few arrangements of Burns songs that everybody will obviously know, from Auld Lang Syne to Red Red Rose and If on Kiss, and then a lot of collaborations with Scottish folk musicians.
Great stuff. Well, let me ask you something about that. What is it about Burns that enables us, hundreds of years later, to still be enjoying his material?
Well, that's the question asked of a lot of classical composers as well. Why do we still listen to Beethoven? Why could most people hum one tune of Beethoven, even if they don't know it's him that wrote it? Most people would know Ode to Joy or Moonlight Sonata or something. And I think there is no technical reason for it. It's a human lineage, and it's something that they had a kind of expression in their output, in their writing, that Burns obviously definitely had, that people, regardless of their generation and their place in history, can relate to and can feel something from, and that makes them feel a sense of commonality and a sense of togetherness. And I think it speaks to people, and we do look for those souls that so many people can relate to. There are only very few of them that will exist in historical terms, and when we get them, I think people keep going back to it again and again.
Now, there's great excitement building up to the Commonwealth Games, although I think you were telling me earlier that not amongst taxi drivers in Glasgow. But there's great excitement for the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow, and you're going to be involved in not one concert, but 4 concerts in one day.
Yes.
With 4 separate orchestras.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Yes, I'll be playing a couple of movements from the British Scottish Fancy. I'll be playing some Vivaldi, I'll be playing Vaughan Williams' Lark Ascending. I'm playing various different pieces with all the major Scottish orchestras. So I'll be tired by the end of that day, I think.
Good stuff. And you're actually going to give us a sneak preview from the album by playing a track today. Tell me about that.
I'm going to play the arrangement of Auld Lang Syne, which is obviously written by Burns, but this is actually the original version of Auld Lang Syne. The one that we all sing is a slightly adapted and changed version. This one's a little bit more contemplative, and it's extremely sweet and sort of inward looking, a little bit more sad. And this arrangement was done by a friend and teacher of mine, Peter Limonov, and it's sort of done with like multiple voices on the violin, but it's written for solo violin. So it's kind of like a prayer.
Great. Nicola Benedetti, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thanks.